Charter Hall.
Excellent. We shall venture forth.
I still want to spend a lot of time just kind of
to Charter Hall, then.
Yeah.
Well, wasn't the meeting that we had before, wasn't it in a park?
It was.
It was a big open park.
It was.
And that's how I tracked the person leaving
Yep.
the park.
Yep.
Yeah.
And unless somebody remembers different. I think that lady asked you to meet somebody at the library.
All right, to the library.
In the bookmobile.
So who all go into this library?
Me.
Do you think we better have Kristoff's ghost or Aldo for some more corporeal assistance? Since
Good question.
Yeah.
What do we need to do?
Oh, Joe's kind of asking the group if they think
Which
his
character
ghost
would be more beneficial?
Aldo Creole should go.
Yeah.
I like the idea of the ghost because I like the idea of having someone who can observe and be unobserved.
Yeah.
What is everyone else's thoughts there?
That sounds pretty good to me.
Sweet.
Okay.
So we show up at this library, and I don't think even need to even look around or give a password or anything. Like as soon as you show up, they this librarian takes you down in the kind of this restricted area to a dark basement that smells really heavily of dust and old parchment.
Okay, good. Not old people, old parchment. Excellent.
And so I think this is just your standard characters, right? Everything like everybody with their starting characters aside from Joe.
Yep.
Yeah.
Hey, Bob.
I don't know. I feel I was insulted a little bit. I mean, I am the ghost of Crowsfoot, after all.
Well,
Yeah.
sorry. Sorry about your feelings, honey.
Hey, Bob.
Uh-huh.
I'm bringing my dog with me
Boy.
because I'm still working with them on different commands and stuff.
Sure. Yeah. You can bring the puppy.
As we walk down the street, I will point at wanted posters. I wonder who that is about. Because I don't think it is about Kristoff.
Yeah.
Right. He's not on their radar because
Yeah. And I was you probably find one of those posters. I mean, they haven't. It hasn't been as sensational most recently. This.
Then I pull out the one in my pocket.
and put it up.
Yeah, there's a really old, faded one that you pass on at a message board. But you do have a nice fresh one, in your pocket to pull out and show off to folks. I like it.
Yes.
So down here in the library, this rather old man in librarian's robes sits across this very very plain wooden table and it says, "Greetings. You may call me Chalmers."
Chalmers?
Yes,
Excellent.
and I wish to. Well, I apologize. It's not often we have people like you here. Um, so, well, I guess I must get to it. There was a there's a particularly troublesome officer of the Bluecoats in Duslow. He's been he's been confiscating and hoarding uh, a great deal of food that is assigned to the well the produce that is assigned to the various citizenry. He's always careful to avoid angry nobles and such, and of course the Empire, who requisitions over half of the food grown here. But we feel it would be in the greater good of the of Duskfall if he was not to do that anymore.
Sure. So,
Um, is this? I mean, is this how this is done? I mean, I suppose I give you his name. Um, I, it is this Officer Casserad. Um, I assure you, he's a very unpleasant man. Um, and you'd be doing quite a service. I'm, I'm sorry. Have I said something to upset anybody? I didn't mean to be presumptuous or anything. I do I have the wrong people here? I suppose.
Yet you just have not mentioned most important part. It is very очень важная, very important.
Oh, I'm not. I don't know exactly where he is. I assume that he's at uh yeah the patrol house at Dunslow. I believe is where he operates out of.
I move my hand to my coin purse.
Why do we want this information?
Don't the witches want it? Am I lost? Probably.
We we have how you say detour. I am just unsure if it is worth time.
Oh, I was so I was told that this is something you guys that your group might be willing to undertake um, pro bono. Um,
I am not pro or anti Bono. I just wish we this is occupation. Is not free clinic.
I see.
Why are we talking to him again?
This is somebody that this Path of Echoes person. This is the place that the Path of Echoes person asked you to come after meeting with her, or them, as it were.
Who did? Oh,
The Path of Echoes.
oh,
Then they offer us a job, and why not? But then they won't pay. That is the reason.
the job.
That
What is the job?
he wants us to take care of Blue Coat, who's taking produce or stuff down in Dunslow, where farming happens. People, need food to eat. He's taking food. They don't eat. They die. Blah blah blah. Oh, would it not be so good for you to go and do free job?
Yes, that is precisely what
Do
I'm
Hey
asking.
Bob,
Yeah.
do
Yeah.
any of us know this particular blue coat through our interactions with them?
No. I mean, you guys would know the bluecoats and there on the docks, and maybe a handful and like Crow's Foot and Brightside. I assume you guys have a contact or two within a couple of the neighboring neighborhoods. But Dunslow's on the other side of town. It's an area you guys. I'm not aware of you guys even visiting there before.
I think the farthest we've gone is like Jenny went to Coleridge once.
Yeah. Well, I think you're. No, maybe not. No. So
We've been to what?
Dunslow is kind of far to the south.
I don't really like. I really
where
don't
the
like
prison
the
is.
idea of messing with the blue coats.
It's where the prison is, and it's also where a lot of the farming is.
Oh, is 3 prison? I guess then with the.
I believe so. I could be wrong, but I think that's the prison.
It looks like it has little walls and stuff.
Yeah.
I mean, we used to be on halfway decent terms with them.
hmm
I don't want to get on even worse terms with them.
So Christoph, as he's standing there,
I give Dashel kind of a look, and I say, "You do understand our profession, correct?"
Oh yeah.
Yeah, okay, because everybody is dimmer sisters this, and these things over here this, and this other thing over here this, and it's very very little of wet work. Oh,
But
let's go take
Get a
boat
little thirsty, hun?
and stop what we do. Yes, makes perfect sense.
yep, yep. No, I mean, to be fair, like out of character thing, like the
Oh, this is 100% in character. My character is bruised and in a bad mood.
yeah. I mean, the playbooks are supposed to be just like guidelines for what you guys are, but so yeah, and I love that. Like, yeah, Vetcher is like, dude, we fucking kill people. This is our job. I think Christoph, while you're there, it takes you a while to notice it, but um, but it seems there is a, um, it seems there is a spirit inhabiting this person you're talking to.
Oh, okay.
Which
Cool.
is
It,
the modus
know,
operandi for the Path of Echoes, right?
yeah,
So,
I mean, this whole spirit world thing is pretty new to you. As a matter of
Okay.
fact, like I mean, you don't like like your vision is bizarre because it is sort of um, it is sort of like when Frodo puts the ring on, like the whole like world turns to shadow and stuff.
Yes.
Only everything is outlined in kind of these electrical crackling bits of the electroplasm.
Okay.
So it makes so it's only you hardly recognize anybody aside from like your closest friends or your closest associates, I guess I should call them.
Yes.
Um, and it takes you a while to spot, that there's something odd about this person, sitting there talking to them.
Okay. I will look carefully at them and I will speak to them. Hmm. You're not entirely in the material world, are you?
And the man says, let's, let's see, I believe I believe you are here for your friend. Um, the additional member of your group who is with us. Are you not?
Mhm.
Okay, you can hear me. God. Um, so you, you, the spirit, need us to get rid of this blue coat for whatever reason, and that's why the Path of Echoes sent us here.
You are, and again, like he's talking as if like to the group. Um, you can't hear him like listening to like a far off sound, and then he says, my associates wish to um, was to gauge your um, your true interest in becoming um, associates of ours. Um, what I can tell you is my friends, those that I work with, we we seek the betterment of Duskfall. The the undying emperor and his machinations and his power structures um, do not respect the living or the dead, as it were. They're really only to help himself in this world. And we have a number of goals that I'm not really prepared to share with you at this time. Um,
Beginning on a basis of trust, I see.
yes, because of trust. Again, like
So,
as a group, you guys don't hear like the person that he's answering there, since nobody can hear Christoph talk.
yes. All right. Now, so, uh, in order for us to begin to earn trust with you, we need to get rid of this troublesome blue coat, if I heard everything correctly.
Now, I promise we would not ask anything of you that was not, simply to just jump through some sort of hoops or put up
Yes,
some.
it's to show something for the betterment of the city. Yes, I understand.
The betterment of our society is important. Anything we
Yes.
can do in the face of the undying emperor to rectify the awful situations that he's placed upon us.
It's rectify.
Like everybody know, like this is like the words he's saying now are, you know, they're absolutely punishable by death.
Blasphemy.
They are. Nobody talks like that about the undying emperor.
Yes. However, I believe you are using the wrong language to convince my compatriots here. They speak the language of coin. Provide enough coin, and they will take care of your troublesome person. Once we're bought, we tend to stay bought.
So yeah, so like as a group, like as you're watching, he's kind of looking across all of you, but then like a look of disappointment kind of crosses his face.
Oh.
He says, "Am I to understand that coin is the only, I guess you might say, language that you would speak?"
Coin tends to be an excellent motivator.
Coin is my native tongue.
It's not the only thing that we crave. And I'll give a really nasty smile.
Well then, I do have a way to. I suppose we do have a way to compensate if that is what is necessary here. Yes, I will. I can provide you with information on a safety deposit box that'll have sufficient coin to, I'm sure, satiate your needs. I can provide the information about its location, but unfortunately, you would not be able to get the second key from the. I can provide a key to it, but it always requires the second one from the bank, from a bank employee, and well, as I suspect you'll be unable to present proper identification. It'll be difficult for you to get that.
So you are telling our master thief that it'd be difficult for him to get a key away from a bank employee? I'm trying to decide if you're going to insult him or challenge him.
I'm just saying that. While I am but a humble librarian, I do know of a place where you can get some coin. It may take a little bit of work to get.
Okay. So you're paying for us to assassinate this person with a treasure map with an X marked on it?
I'm not sure I take your meaning.
It's from Tales of Pirate Treasure from another time, another place.
I see. So the reward would be some instructions on how to get some. Again, now he's like he I can tell like this guy has tried to like pretend that he does not see the ghost that Samuel has, but occasionally like falls out and does like have a conversation with the ghost.
So if I am present yet, then yeah. So as an extension of payment, the rather unique services that your group offers, is there a way that we could partake of them in the future, and how would we be getting a hold of you to do so?
Well, if this goes well, then I believe um, we can discuss further collaborations.
If we succeed at this, we're on the road to being trusted. If we fail at this, it will be one less thing for you to clean up. One less loose end. I see.
In fact, there are some food stores that we do. Yeah, but let's not get to that. But to start with, I think dealing with this um, Captain Cassavan would be would put us on an excellent start.
So, Bob,
Yeah,
was Christoph the only person who understands this guy is a ghost, or by his just like
he's the only one
seeming like
with
what we've
Yeah,
noticed in that?
right. So he's the only one
yeah,
that
but
directly observed that he is, and the rest of you, I think, don't.
from last time session, yeah, we had we followed the guy and kind of
Yeah,
noticed when the ghost left because
yep,
suddenly
yeah.
so
And you
we
guys have
kind of got
seen it
their MO, but not the
exactly. You got it. To his point, exactly. You guys have seen the MO before, um, but Christoph is the only one that can visually see evidence that it's happening. I think an argument could be made. I think that maybe Vetra could. Um,
What I
if,
wanted to do is I wanted to take two stress, say okay, and then shift into the ghost field for a few moments,
Mhm.
look right at him, and say, I have vase.
you have what?
I have
You have
many ways of,
things. Yeah, got it. Yes,
and then snapping back as
yeah,
a, I don't care if you're a ghost or whatever, you won't be able to hide.
yeah. So yes, I think that is a million percent valid for Vetra to be able to to shift over, see the ghosts, and then kind of shift back. I think that, yeah, I'd see that as like a side effect of his dancing into the ghost field.
And
And
I wave at Christoph.
and I think because this is like an open play thing, I would consider that like a yeah. I don't think you have to pay. You pay the
Oh, okay.
like, yeah. Don't worry about paying the strength for it. I think it's just a cool flavor thing.
Cool. I just figured I would do that to kind of make a point, and
Yeah.
then they can stay because this is a library. Ooh boy, they like books and stuff, but I'll just leave.
Yep. All right. So yeah. So you guys have a mission and a promise of kind of another side mission to get some money afterwards if you do the mission. But by mission I mean job or score.
Yes.
I think score is like the term in the
Hit.
book.
In this case, it's just a hit, right? So-
Or a hit,
Yep.
as it were. All right. So someone want to do like some anyone want to do any kind of open play stuff otherwise? Or aside from going into like gathering information about the hit or anything?
I'll try and see if I can get some information on the blue coat.
Okay.
Do some tracking.
Yeah.
Some gathering some information about his location, movements, that sort of thing.
I'm going to use my study skill to study the blue coat because you can study a person, document, or item.
Ooh.
So
I approve.
thinking, I'm gonna, do some research.
I
Google,
approve of this
I'm
plan.
gonna Google this guy.
Yeah, Google this guy.
I'm gonna Google
Go for it.
Yeah, and this
Yeah, you
is
go ahead.
You want Pete to do his thing first?
No, you do your thing first, because I think
Okay.
I mean we do Pete's thing every time for every
so-
mission. Just doing some research on somebody, studying them up on them is a new thing. So let's do that.
Okay. So yeah. Do you want me to describe
Yeah,
where
yeah. How,
so I think-
how are you doing this?
so the blue coats are like the almost like the police or the city guard.
They are in fact the
Like-
police.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
So which one of them sings and plays bass?
yes.
Mm.
And do we know this this guy's name at all, or
Yes.
Captain Cassar.
Captain Cassaran.
Cassaran. Cassaran.
so I think
Casser-
Captain Cassaran.
I think I'm just gonna kind of, I don't know, ask people that I know, or see if there, see if there is something like I'm thinking for study, like you would look for some like public records or
Yeah, some
something
documents,
like that,
things like that.
documents. So I'm thinking,
Maybe like
You know-
news stories of arrests and
right,
things like
yeah,
that.
yeah. So like maybe I'm gonna go through backstories of the newspaper. I'm gonna go back to the library and find their microfiche machine
Yeah.
and find
The
old
newspaper morgue?
yes, and find old copies of newspapers and scroll through to look for his name and find out what I can about him that way.
As an aside, I wonder if there really are any more microfiche in the United States.
I wonder that too.
So
I
can
bet there
Like-
are.
Of a thing that we were taught to do in school.
Yes. Don't get me
Yeah.
started on the state of
On-
education in
Yeah,
this country.
on the shit that we were taught to do at school
Yeah,
that doesn't matter
It
anymore.
doesn't matter. The shit that we're teaching kids now that will not matter to them.
I know.
Yeah, remember, you're never going to have a calculator with you all the time.
Exactly.
Yeah, I know.
Exactly.
All right.
All right,
So-
hit it.
since I have a friend of
Yeah.
Jaren who is
Okay.
actually a blue coat archivist, can I speak with him to like get her access to even better information that would like somehow help her?
Ooh, I got a success.
Yeah.
Right.
Go ahead and roll one more d6. Because I think he's aiding you by getting you into contact with some folks that could. Oh, it's not another 6. So, that's all he was doing. If
Yeah.
it was a critical success or a success. So you do. So, Captain Captain Cassaran, he I think for him, he has moved the precinct of the Dunslow Blue Coat precinct to take up the first floor of his mansion, he has like a mansion in Dunslow that's been built, and like the whole first floor of it, this big marble edifice, this big marble like 4-story building is just for has been it's been made out to be the precinct for the Bluecoats that they operate out of.
He really loves his building, doesn't he? He
He
has
does.
kind of an edifice complex.
Yes, he does. He it also incidentally as part of this deal, part of his willingness to provide that space, the uh, the governor of White Crown, compensates him for, kind of rents out that first floor at a. It's not clear from the records how much they're paying him for it, but it seems that he's worked something out where he's like, got the basically got the government to pay for his home by kind of renting out the first floor of it.
And so some of the background, we were told that he's grifting some of the food
Yeah.
away, or
Yep.
okay. So-
There are also some warehouses, that a few of the warehouses that belong specifically to him. It seems in Dunslow, as a matter of fact, about 20% of the warehouses in Dunslow are actually owned by this Bluecoat captain.
Okay, so as an open play thing, can I do just some kind of role play to try
Great.
to assist with lowering heat, kind of pre-lower heat?
Yeah. Tell me
So
about that.
I want to so I'm gonna get myself all dressed up, just kind of a unsavory character, wear some rags and not, and just appear in a tavern or two, with more beer on my clothes than I actually imbibe. Because,
Sure.
but then I will slur around about how the abuse that's going on from jackass casserole down in Dunslow, stealing from all the people. The Sons of Anarchy see that he gets his. So kind of.
Nice. Yeah. So I don't think we'll do any rolls for this, but this is like narrative foundational stuff. It doesn't take long. Like it's shockingly soon after you start talking about that kind of stuff, before some Bluecoats come around looking for you. And of course you have an escape plan already set up to get out of there and to look like somebody else. But it seems that the Bluecoats here are pretty tightly under his control, and among the things that they're looking for is anybody talking bad about him. So of course, with that information about the precinct house and the mansion and the warehouses and stuff, obviously where he's at. And information that he doesn't have in general a lot of reason to leave his mansion.
Holding the precinct.
Sorry, his mansion slash precinct. He it sounds
Are
like
there
it
are
sounds
there
like he hardly ever leaves, um aside from going to a few parties and such at White Crown, and kind of hobnobbing with the nobility and such. And that's like Yeah, get like that's a typical like Friday, Saturday nights. He will go out and do some, go to the opera or go to the, attend, noble parties and things like that. But for the most part, um, he seems rather comfortable in his mansion.
Does he have regular deliveries or like
Oh, lots, like all day long.
particular hookers that show up?
There's there, yeah,
That
there are
sort
people. Mm, as a large man, so this is um that his mansion is on the large side compared to, and even relative to a number like, the nobility and like Brightstone and even in White Crown, it's pretty big. It's
How
probably
does
in the top 12 or so in all of Duskfall.
how
And
does he travel to his events? Motorcade or by ship or by ferry or
I think probably by carriage.
Goat pooled carriage.
Yeah, goat carriage.
with how much of a escort?
I think it's probably, yeah, with certainly with a police escort.
Yeah, we're talking about
Yeah,
two,
probably.
three, or dozen.
Yeah, probably there's probably a second carriage that it's probably led by a second carriage, with with some pretty badass blue coats in it. Some of his elite thugs. Since the blue coats are kind of widely known as the biggest gang in all of Duskfall. Who else wants to gather some information or do something?
Let's see. Gathering information like this. Um,
Like to look for entry and exit point at the mansion precinct thing.
Yeah. Yes.
oh, I think
So do you want Pete to do that, or should we have Vetcher do that? One of the two.
doesn't matter to me.
Vetcher, you want to do the checking around then?
Sure.
Okay. I see Joe is taking Aldo Creel. Aldo Creel.
Yes, so I would like to go around, see how rooftops and walls. I assume it is difficult, but there is nothing impossible. It is building. There is way in, way out.
yes. Ooh, I just thought of something. Aldo's going to try to pick up some blue coat uniforms, preferably non-blood-stained. But go ahead and do you do your search first, and then Aldo will go out and acquire some uniforms.
Bob, did you want me to do any rolls for gathering
No.
information?
So, Lehman, are you gonna do the checking around?
Yep. I just wasn't sure what like position and
No, I mean, for these, it's always, yeah, kind of controlled and standard. Which I'm not generally worried about, like, taking strainer and stuff. Okay. So so like checking out his his manse. Um, it I mean, there are walls and stuff. So on the bright side, like the whole first floor is very open.
Mm-hmm.
That the blue coats are operating out of there, right? Um, there are quite a few servants that seem to work in there as well. So there's a back entrance that's pretty open. Um, it is a, like the whole mansion is about 2 stories taller than the tallest building around it. So like jumping from rooftops to rooftop isn't gonna help you get in at all.
Mm-hmm.
There are definitely some big windows and stuff. And I mean, so you could certainly get in through a window, um, but just the existence of all the people around makes it pretty risky.
Right.
Since it's a pretty darn busy place. Probably busier than most places you guys have done scores in. Since a blue coat precinct is pretty busy most hours of the day and night, as it were. Um, yeah, I mean, you see like a number, like the weaknesses you pick out pretty quickly though are, of course, how the front doors are are unlocked and open pretty much 24/7, um, since it's a business place, um, and any number of people are coming in and out.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, the blue coat presence is it's a little troubling, but some disguises and stuff might help you with that. Again, like there's a back entrance where the servants are required to come in, and there are quite a few. So you suspect that's probably another weakness you could exploit.
Okay. Very
There is
good.
there is a blue coat that works. There is a blue coat or two that work there. Checking credentials of people
Mm-hmm.
who are servants. Um, but that's probably not an insurmountable obstacle.
So I will report that to everybody.
Yeah. As you guys like we'll come back to get you guys with at Smythe and Company Liquidators. You got your big meeting table with with a map drawn out of the mansion.
Yeah.
And yeah, Vetcher shows up to add his information to the list.
Yeah. Yeah. And like I said, I'm gonna go grab some uniforms to help with the disguise.
Nice.
Let's see. I think I'm going to try doing this. I'm just going to go and talk to a couple of them.
Sure.
Yeah.
Go for it.
Yeah.
Find out where their laundry's done.
Yeah. So is this
Volunteer.
risky,
That's
controlled, or
not how
desperate?
Aldo does it.
Yeah. Is this still controlled, or is this a little bit more risky?
Go ahead. I think it's controlled.
Yeah.
You are not to be
And
trusted.
standard effect. Uh, and oh, ow. Oh dear, I got blood on the uniforms.
Yeah. Yep, you got him a little messed up.
Mm-hmm. Ow.
Well, they probably had blood on them to begin with.
This is a little bit fresher.
So yeah, I think you can get yourself a set of uniforms. I would say. I
just
think
want purple. Than
the
blue.
downside is they are a little worn and
Mhm,
a little bloody and torn. And
mhm.
I think Aldo does not get one that quite fits him.
Yeah. Oh. Oh wow.
His
I just got this picture.
his is about 2 sizes too small.
Yeah. Okay. So
Find a
basically, yeah.
tailor.
You need a really good tailor, or else someone who has access to a lot more fabric.
And I thought it
Okay.
would be funny that way.
Yeah. Oh, out of character, I'm seeing someone else wearing the uniform and with manacles that don't quite fit around all those wrists.
Yep.
You know.
Aren't you a little short?
Yep. Are you a little short to be blue coat?
Mhm.
Oh.
Right. All right. So here we go. I think it's the one I want.
Oh, this is
So tell me about the job here, guys. How we doing this? So you got to choose the plan. Is this an assault, occult, deception, social, stealth, or transport plan?
ooh. I'm thinking either assault or stealth.
Mhm. I mean, isn't that what we always think?
Yep. So
Any votes or anything?
So yeah, another option that would be totally outlandish. I don't know how we could we could invite him to the party, the open house party of a new noble that we just totally make up and lure him to a place of our. But how to if he does any sort of double
yeah,
checking on
yeah, yeah, yeah. That'd take a lot of resources and time to set up. It'd be awesome if we could do it, but a lot of time, a lot of resources.
yeah, and so kind of what I see is that we have the option of going in to his mansion and take him out there, or try to get him en route somewhere and just having men make us enough explosives to just eliminate kind of everything there, which would kind of fit with the whole Sons of Anarchy narrative. But
Can we check the social calendar and see if there's any nobles that are having soirees or anything in the near future that he might be likely to go to?
Might be a good idea.
Check his calendar.
Mhm.
There's got to be a gossip column or something like that.
I mean,
Or
who's going to check?
Well, should I? Because I was doing the study. Does that
of
make
course,
sense?
that's actually something we could lie about, though. We could invite him to some existing noble thing. And say that, for just like a day or two's time, and say, sorry, the invitation got hung up in the mail, but can you attend on short notice to such and such? And that way, if he knows that the noble already exists there, as
we'd
long
have
as he doesn't
but
check.
we'd have to make sure he wasn't already invited.
Well, I'm saying there's no party. We just totally
Oh.
lie.
Yeah. Oh.
Yeah, it's up to you guys. What you guys
Let's
want to do?
let's forge
Hmm.
a document saying that he's going to be honored for some sort of an award for his service or something.
Ooh,
And then
that's interesting.
yeah, and ambush him that way. So we give him a time and a place, there's going to be a banquet in his honor. He's going to be, yeah. And then we have him where we want him.
Yes.
Okay. So
All
wait,
right.
Yeah, sounds
sounds
good.
like we're going deception.
Oh, I guess it
Yep.
does.
Yep.
I'm all about deception, to be
Okay.
honest. So
Same.
Yeah. Mm.
I think Case is all about deception as well. So
Indeed.
you're in good company.
yeah,
um.
And one could
Yeah.
argue the Fetcher is also all about deception. He wants you to think that he's not there when he really is.
got it. Fair.
Uh, yes. Aldo has much more limited form of
Yeah,
deception.
Aldo is probably the most honest person here.
Yes. Uh, admittedly, I was thinking when you mentioned men making explosives, just going through the front door, like you've got Aldo captured. He opens his coat. He's like head to toe dynamite, and then um,
And then you set it off
wreak
because
havoc
now
from there.
Joe has no fear of death.
Um, I wasn't thinking setting it off. I was thinking more using that to put them on the back foot, and then just you know, well, kind of like in the Matrix where um, Neo and Kennedy are entering the lobby, and they set off the metal detector, and each of them's got like 50 submachine guns or something.
Oh yeah,
Just a little bit.
You know,
that kind of stuff.
simple, straightforward.
Yeah.
Well,
So
we have
what do you guys
less.
think? Do the counterfeit award thing and ambush him on the way, or do some sort of infiltration?
I'm with you fellas, whatever you decide.
Making the letter.
Good. Yeah.
Um,
Forging the award ceremony honoring him for his service.
Yes.
yeah. My only worry about that is if we try to make it convincing, it might cost more than anything we get out of it.
Okay. So who's writing this letter? So all right. So you know what? Let me back up. We're gonna do this as a deception job, and let's get the starting situation. I ran that down like a guy.
Would you say this would be like a finesse because that's
Yeah,
like
I
a
would, I would
plan?
think either tinker or finesse. I'm trying to figure out.
Yeah,
I would accept either one.
I have 3 in each of those. So
Okay, I will accept either
those
So
one.
I know who's doing
So
it.
let me back up again. So we need to do engagement role will be, is this Operation Bold or Daring?
Hmm.
What do you guys think? Bold or daring? Overly complex and contingent on many factors.
It's contingent on many factors. Yeah, yeah, it's very complex.
Does the plan's detail expose a vulnerability in the target? I would say yes. Do friends or contacts provide aid or insight in the operation? A little bit. I mean, you guys are a little bit in with the blue coats, and you have the arcanist to help. I think this is probably a 2D roll. Let's see.
Boy.
There's a 6. You guys are starting out in a controlled situation. Nice.
Oh, wow.
All right. So usually what that means is we skip the first step. So this is, we'll assume that you have already sent the this invitation
Great.
to this thing.
Cool. And he's already fallen for stage 1. That's a good sign.
Yep. So where did you guys say? Where did you guys decide that this awards assembly is going to occur?
Oh boy.
Good question. Probably should have.
Hmm,
Oh no, it's stuff you guys that
Charter
you're
hall.
already planned out.
Oh, right.
I think Charter Hall would probably be
That's a
good.
place in Charter Hall. Okay.
Oh. Yeah.
Would prefer not. I mean, I know he likes hobnobbing and White Crown, but that's a little. That would be very bad if things. Oh,
That's
True. There's the risk of getting run into with the Imperial military and stuff, and they're all like tier 4, 5 kind of folks.
oh jeez.
Pretty
Yeah.
tough to overcome.
Yeah, that's not what we want.
Yeah.
So we going back to kind of the very, very beginning, like your first score, and looking to intercept them on the way, or you gonna set it up so
Yeah.
he gets there,
yes. I
like
think
the old Super Bowl trick with the police. Get everybody all at once.
Yeah.
Are we just planning on killing him or killing his bodyguards as well?
Just at least him.
Minimizing collateral damage would be a good thing. However, if there are no witnesses, it was a stealthy operation, so I can
Bob,
pretty
I
much
want to try and
Yeah.
figure out the route that he's going to take so that I can find a good position to set up at.
Yeah, that is not hard to spot the or to understand the route. I mean, he's going to take like the main roads. There is like a main road that goes like straight through Coleridge, and Coleridge is probably the easiest one to do because there are like Coleridge has, for the most part, really shitty roads. So, like just kind of where you're identifying spots. I mean, there's really only one road to take through Coleridge out of Dunslow, and um, so you'll know like exactly where his is and have an opportunity to set up a pretty good ambush.
Do we want to? Do you want to do this on a bridge or in the town?
A bridge should give us more control, I think.
Maybe
It'll
we
make
drop
also
by-
make us more open, though.
Yeah, there's nowhere to hide on a bridge.
for us or him.
Yes. Yeah, the bridge would make it easier to find him.
How explosive are we going?
Uh, it's I don't know.
More explosion, more heat.
Yes.
Yeah, we don't want to. If we take out the bridge, then that's gonna
No,
that's going to
that's
be too much heat for any sort of cover. Yeah.
yeah.
But
Hey, Jenny,
Yes.
what about some smoke bombs?
Oh yeah, I definitely have plenty of those.
Yeah.
But
We
Smoke and fire.
Yeah.
something
Not too much
something
concussive.
that maybe after we take them out,
How about
um,
right here on the map, rather than on the bridge, somewhere where we've got some cross streets and alleys we can go down if,
Remember,
yeah,
Coleridge is mostly factories and stuff. It is kind of choked with soot, and it's pretty grimy area. So
yeah.
there'll be like, with factories and stuff, there'll be like big buildings you could probably get up on top of and stuff.
Mhm. That's, yeah. I just don't like the idea of being out in the open.
as long as I can get a good perch and I can have some like subterfuge supplies, like a black cloak that blends in with the soot and stuff like that.
Yeah, and we'll kind of soot cover all of our faces and kind of hide most of our features to begin with too. Like even as
Yeah.
we go through Coleridge.
Yeah. We'll maybe have something to block the road when we, something that when we see him coming, someone alerts us and we drop something to block the road, say move another car out in the middle of the road or something. Um, yeah,
I'm
just
wondering if there'd be any way to block the road. Bob, you said that his guards were in the cart or the carriage ahead of him.
Yeah, I believe so.
oh,
Something.
actually, we can kill two birds with one stone. Um, Set up like some explosives so when the first cart goes by, boom, hit them with the explosives. So they provide the roadblock. And
Wouldn't that
then we
draw
jump.
more heat though, or
Uh,
I don't want to be a party pooper, but isn't this what Blades in the Dark is not supposed to do?
yeah. Okay.
yeah, over planning.
All right. Yeah. All right.
Yep.
Yeah, that's why
Yeah.
I thought
So
we were. I was confused. I thought we were already there when you asked about smoke bombs. So I was like, yeah, I got them.
okay. So all right. Uh, okay. All right. So
You just tell me where the ambush is happening.
okay.
So yeah, I think we get them at the end of the bridge, right? So that way Ashla
Maybe
has a clean shot as possible and
maybe a little bit further so that yeah, right about where the red dot is. Yeah.
yeah, so before he gets before he gets
Before
to
he gets to the
cover.
roundabout. Yeah. Yep.
We just maximize the advantages for ourselves is all.
Mhm.
Mhm.
Yep. Yeah.
Okay. So,
Ooh. I just thought of a way to immobilize him.
I
It's a
think
carriage, right?
yep, here come the carriages. They're
Oh,
these are his household carriages, which are actually drawn by, get ready for it, guys, horses.
Ooh.
oh,
Oh yeah, something up to load you're taking, as Joe reminds us.
yeah. How heavy a load are we going to take?
I'm taking a normal load.
Normal load.
Yeah, I'll take a normal.
Yeah,
All
that
right.
sounds good.
Okay. The baselines. Take my fine heavy weapon. That's two. Scary weapon or tool. Always got to have the straight weapon. All
You
the
don't have to
straight
take it
razor.
all.
1, 2,
Yeah, you
3.
pick it up as you need it.
Yeah. Oh,
Okay.
oh yeah. As we need it. Yeah.
So yeah, so the so coming us couple nights goes by. Then the evening of the this awards assembly comes up. What is the name of this award, by the way?
Hmm.
Humanitarian of the Year.
Okay, Humanitarian of the Year award. He you see the two carriages. They are pretty heavily armored. They're they are they're pretty big carriages with very clear. Yeah, they're heavily armored, um, drawn by horses. You can see there's each carriage has has a driver and someone riding shotgun. Who's not actually wielding a shotgun. But he has a long rifle. And it comes to right about this point, right where that red dot is. Somebody put that. I think Liam put the red dot.
Mm-hmm.
And I think it's time for people to start doing some stuff.
Okay.
Who would like to go first?
I'd like to stop the carriage.
All right, tell me about how you'd like to stop this carriage.
I'm bringing out this. I decided to bring a large two-handed sword with me. Keeping it under my cloak because, of course. And I'm going to take one of the horse's heads off.
This is a very expensive first strike.
Yep.
Subtlety. Woohoo! Oh wait.
Yeah. Okay.
So tell me what are you looking? You're looking to stop them. What
Mhm.
kind of role do you think this is?
Ooh.
Yeah, so you stroll out there like a worker carrying something, and then just drop
Yeah.
everything but the sword.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
wreck an item with savage force.
Ooh, I do like wreck.
Yep.
You know what?
Yep.
Yeah,
Yep.
yeah.
Okay.
I'm not feeling
All right.
anything else. I think wreck is it, man.
Correct. Yep. Rec works. Rec works. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Rec. Yep. And then would this be risky? Control, desperate?
Yeah, it's pretty ballsy. I did say we're starting controlled, so let's go ahead and start controlled and see what happens.
Controlled. All right.
You're escalating it pretty quickly though.
Yep. So am I going for standard effect right now?
I think so.
Actually, I'm going to push myself to increase the effect by 1 level.
Damn.
All right. Okay. Yeah. Can't think of any bonus dice on this, so
Okay. So yeah, I think it happens exactly the way you almost exactly the way you said. You go out there, there are two horses drawing this thing. You go in and just lob the head off of one of them, and the carriage like comes to a stop. The clearly like the driver and guard are not ready for what just happened, and the carriage right behind, because Coleridge is kind of an unpleasant place. Their standing orders are to kind of pick up the pace as they go through Coleridge, and so the rear. So the captain's carriage will actually collide with the lead carriage, and within a few seconds, the doors open and glucose starts to come out. I think it's time for somebody else. Who wants to go next?
Do I have a shot at the captain?
Oh God, no. No, these are definitely not open open air carriages.
So I'm gonna wait until I have a shot at him before I shoot.
Got it.
I want to.
Yep.
All right. So they're
Toss a bomb in the carriage to flush him out.
they're in a carriage, right?
Yeah, 2 carriages.
And is there any way that I could drop on? So the driver's on the outside of the carriage, but the people, the passengers, we can't get to them, right?
Right. It looks like the doors to the lead carriage are opening just now, and you know that like the lead carriage usually has like some armed guards in it,
All right.
and there are 2 people exposed in each carriage. There's a driver and a rifleman.
So what I wanted to do was try using this trance powder, glittering blue powder, and
Oh,
uses
to
a
take control of
pleasant
somebody's mind.
hypnotic trance when inhaled. So it just
Got it.
makes them,
Yeah.
happy and
Yeah, get them high.
hypnotize. Yeah, a little high. I wanted to like drop onto the back carriage and blow some trance powder into the driver's face,
Okay.
or the driver and the guard, whoever's on top,
Yep.
so that they're not really able to react to the situation very well. Kind of take them out of the
All right.
yeah.
Yeah, let's do this.
So I was thinking this would be either wreck, because I am like, or I was actually thinking about like finesse, because it says employ a subtle misdirection or sleight of hand, handle a vehicle or a mount.
Yeah, I think
So I might
I
be
like that one.
doing that and then taking
Mhm.
over as a driver for this.
Yeah, let's do it.
Okay. Position is still controlled,
What
or
you need?
No, I think we're up to.
What do you want? Come on.
Ooh, I'm feeling desperate now because
okay.
you are like you like getting face to face with these
I can
dudes
take
who
a
could
quick break. What do you want?
and could kill you.
Okay.
Order a quick sandwich.
Yeah,
What do you want?
we'll call this risky.
And
Sandwich
I
set.
need to get some bonus dice then, because I want this to be
Some bonus.
so
I'll be right back.
can I have a flashback
Okay.
of me like drawing this out and basically me like planning, preparing, and practicing.
Okay.
So drawing myself a little map, finding the exact right point where I'm going to do this, so that
Mhm.
it's all thought out ahead of time.
Mixing together a particularly potent version of this
Yeah,
thing.
exactly. Maybe even practicing inhaling it a little bit to. So there's part of the flashback is she gets high for a while.
Oh yeah, because this has happened before where you've gotten
where it
yourself
backfired on
you've
her.
gotten
So she's
yourself
trying
messed
to
up.
learn from that. So she's yeah.
Okay,
Uh,
I'm down.
effect, it would be limited, or
This is
you said they're more tough than we are.
they are. What tier are you guys? You guys are tier 1, right? With Stronghold.
I don't know.
Let me check.
I believe you are. Yeah, tier 1 with Stronghold.
Strong.
You are
Yes.
on your way to tier 2. I believe the blue coats are tier 2. If I'm not wrong, it's factions. Oh, I'm a liar. Blue coats are tier 3.
Wait.
So the effect will be
I'm afraid the effect might be limited. Now, let's see.
okay.
I think, can I offer a devil's bargain?
I mean,
I think the devil's bargain might be, even though you practiced, to risk getting yourself high too,
mhm,
while you're up here trying to dose these people in pretty close to you.
that it might, that if it backfires, it'll get.
Yeah, it might mess you up too, and you'll have to rely on somebody else to be show up and give commands and things like that.
Sounds good. Bonus dice
I
1.
think 2 dice. No. I guess it is no dice because both of these background thingies are just to improve your effect, right?
Yeah.
They try to get you up to tier 3 so you can affect them.
Oh, is that what it is?
So it's not limited effect; it's regular effect.
I forgot. Did I put that in? I think I messed that up. All right. Position is desperate.
I think so.
Effect is standard, not limited.
Right.
Bonus
And now it's
dice
0
0.
bonus dice.
And I got a 6.
You got a 6, so you did it.
Mhm.
So you hit them.
Yeah. All right. I have control.
Like
Control of this period because, or I
Yeah,
can
so you're like,
influence.
yeah.
this
So these two
period.
guys,
like hypnotic trances, they're like
they
They're
both like you land on the top of the carriage, from like some stone archway above.
they
and-
turn around startled, just like I planned it out
Yep.
in my
know,
dream board.
With an
Um,
quick intake of breath, from the shock, and then breathe in the sparkling blue powder that you blow in their faces. Their eyes kind of glaze over a little bit, and they start to giggle some.
sounds good. I like.
All
Yep.
right. Who's next?
I can go next because I think my action should be pretty simple.
Yeah.
So I'm just going to try to stick with the cover for heat. I'm going to run up to the first carriage and draw with 3 quick swipes of red paint. Draw A on the first carriage for anarchy, and then whip out my dagger and try to cut a harness of the horse of the second carriage as I run away.
I'm back.
Okay. Yeah, hit me with that. So this is. I mean, what do you think you're doing? This is
Probably
a.
finesse to actually do any real damage to the harness, maybe. The paint, I don't know if that takes any role. Ooh, finesse sucks. All right.
Yeah, I think the painting thing on the side.
I will
Is
push myself, though.
ooh.
Do I get a bonus die because of the disparity between tiers, or no? That's it.
Maybe push yourself to improve the effect.
Right, because these are pretty good. Their equipment's pretty nice.
Hopefully, it's not paint proof. See. All right. Position is desperate.
Mm-hmm.
Effect is now standard since I pushed myself.
Okay.
And no bonus dice. Oh, actually, it succeeded. Not great, but
I think you do get this big A painted on the side, and you go over and start cutting on this harness on one of the horses and the second one, the second carriage, but don't finish cutting all the way through before the blue
getting shot
coats.
in the back.
Yeah, the blue coats come out and start level pistols towards you and basically everybody in the street, including like pedestrians and stuff like that.
So that's what armor is for. I'm gonna try to finish cutting the harness and take the shot.
All right, we'll
Uh,
do that next time, man. Um, is this to Vetra's turn?
I can go. Yes.
What is Vetra doing?
Vetcher is using their craziness as distraction. And from the back side of second carriage, I run and using my fine shadow cloak to keep me hidden until most opportune moment, I jump up through carriage door and push myself, triggering devil's footsteps, so that men inside carriage with the captain shoot themselves as I ghost veil through. So they try to shoot me, but end up shooting themselves.
Okay. All right. What kind of role do you think that is?
It is definitely prowl, ambush.
Okay, let's do this.
We are at desperate.
Yep.
Yeah, I would say.
Okay, and I get +1 effect, so goes from limited to standard.
I think you need another +1.
Okay, then I will use pushing for this.
Okay.
We'll
Or
go
do a
with
push
that.
push.
Push. Then I am ambushing, so get the one also. We will see how fates determine, because I am very soon due to fail horribly.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, look! Not
No.
this time.
Yeah, I think it happens like just how you described. I think there are 3 guards in there with him, and 2 of them like shoot each other or stab at each other. Like yeah, one of them shoots the other one stabs the person who just shot him because they just like passing right through where your body is standing. And yeah, you're in the middle of a carriage with Captain Kassaran and one guard or one
Yes.
guard. Still in kind of I would argue still in a quasi ethereal form.
Mhm.
Uh, is Dashiell going to do anything? Dashiell was holding on to get a shot, but you know, as we've established just now, the plan the entire time has been for Vetcher to go in there and kill everybody in the carriage.
I am going to hold my fire so that they don't know that I'm there.
Okay.
If the captain comes out of the carriage, I'll shoot him. I'll give it, another little bit of time, and then maybe I'll try and start picking off guards. But for now, I'm holding fire.
Okay. If it's all right, let's take a 5-minute pee break because that is about how long I need for a pee break,
Okay.
and then we'll pick up with kind of at top of initiative. So. Top of initiative. I think Aldo went first. So
That's
Aldo, I think we're now in a desperate situation because you have 2 guys with guns, and more as we're adding.
okay. 2 guys
Who
with
are
guns.
mostly focused on you because you just killed their horse.
Yeah.
That
Yeah.
was their favorite horse, man.
All
No, it's
right.
their favorite horse, but it's still one of their horses.
Yes.
Oh, that was
Okay.
Hong Kong
Right.
Action Theater that had Sacrificial Buddy. That's
Mhm.
like
Oh
a feet
yeah,
thing or something.
Okay. I'm going to use not to be trifled with, so I can put myself to engage the small gang in equal footing in close combat. I'm
got it.
going to use my special armor to push myself so I don't take more stress from that.
Okay.
Um, let's see, I've got my fine heavy weapons, so I'm up 1 level for that.
Yep.
To be on an even level, I will probably have to push myself again.
Right, because you didn't get up to tier 3.
Yep. Oh boy. All right. There we go. That gets me to tier 3, and I'm attacking all of them.
All right.
Let's see.
This is going to be skirmish, you think?
Yes, this is going to be skirmish since I'm just going to go through and I'm going to attempt to kill everyone who's got a gun pointed at me
Okay.
with my
I think
sword.
there's a total of 4 of them.
Okay. All right. Jeez. Okay, if I want to take a devil's bargain to get a bonus die, what sort of devil's bargain would you offer me?
I offer is a devil's bargain. I think as a devil's bargain, I can offer you an extra die for an extra 1 point of heat because I think Aldo Creole's. I think this activity is becoming like an Aldo Creole like hallmark, and people will remember. Oh shit! It was that one dude, that one Scovall guy with the big 2-handed sword.
Mm, ah, I'll take it.
Yep, that looks like a 6.
It's a whirlwind of flashing steel and flying limbs and other body parts.
Shots going off and everything, and people
Yeah,
screaming.
yeah, yeah. And of course, he finishes in one of those cool poses where he's got the sword, held horizontally in front of his shoulders, while behind him, um, halves of torsos slide off the other halves of the torsos, and the guys collapse.
Yep, yep. I
One,
think
one, one
works in
vertical and one horizontal.
And a couple diagonal, yes.
Yep, yep. I think that's what happens. Now I think it's
All right.
Mick's turn.
All right. Okay, so the situation is Min does have control of the.
Yes, the 2 guys that are up on top here are seem to be like in a daze. You heard the gunshots in the carriage below you, inside the carriage, which you're pretty sure, if things are going according to plan, um, is Vetcher dealing with the people inside.
All right. And the inside the carriage I'm in.
Yeah.
Or on. Okay. Um. Who is inside there? Can I? I'm
Well,
gonna ask the.
if the plan,
I'm gonna ask the driver. Who was in his carriage? He's hypnotized and happy.
he's like, oh man, yeah, yeah, the captain's in there. He's got a few of his guards with him.
Okay.
Dude, this is awesome, man.
Yes, it is.
Want to go play someplace and hang out?
Now that's okay. You keep. What do you want? What do you want, guys? Do we want this carriage to keep on its normal path as if nothing is wrong?
Well, I can't do the regular path. There's like another carriage right in front of me, man.
Okay, yeah. So just chill here.
Yeah, chill. That
Good
sounds
job.
about right, man.
And I'm gonna get, I guess, inside the carriage to see what's happening in there.
Okay. All right. You want to kind of hop down, open the carriage,
Mhm.
and see there's a guard, and the captain. There's 2 dead guys in here. Like one has a sword stabbed in him, the other one with a gunshot wound, and
Good.
there's
job.
this. There's the kind of there's the kind of wraith-like appearance of the shadowy form of Vetcher. standing in the middle of the carriage. So the other two occupants are like really focused on him, and don't even notice when you open the door right next to them.
Excellent. Well then I guess they're I know what the captain looks like. Right?
Oh, yeah,
Okay.
he's a really big fat guy with a huge mustache. Yeah, you know what? I'm gonna go back. It's a mutton stash,
A mutton sash.
of course.
All right.
The
good.
greatest of
I think
stashes.
that I can try to, I happen to probably have a knife or something with
Yeah.
me,
Yeah,
so
you do.
I'm just gonna go
Got a
ahead
blade.
and stab the captain in the kidneys.
We all got blades. All right. Yeah, go ahead and give me maybe a skirmish or a finesse. Tell me what you're gonna do.
Wreck or not.
Okay.
Create distractions and chaos, breach defenses with force. Or, I mean, probably not finesse because that's like subtle misdirection, sleight of hand, unless it's a sneaky knife.
Prowl, backstab, throat cutting, ambush, with
Probably prowl, yeah.
Yeah, go
Let's
for
do
it.
prowl.
close
that's
violence.
All right. Effect.
Is gonna be limited
All right.
because he has better armor than you have dives.
Yeah. Fair. Okay. And let's see what happens. Probably nothing good.
Yeah, you wounded
Yeah.
pretty good.
Oh,
Yeah, you find a weak spot in his armor and stab him. Which is cool. Like you open the door and just like immediately stab your knife in and find a spot to slip it in.
that's
Um,
excellent.
I think Pete is next. I think Dashiell's next. There are a few more guards that Aldo hadn't killed yet. So I think there's a total of 4 people inside of each one. He killed 2 people that just came out and the 2 that were on top. So yes, there are 2 more guys. One of them is pointing a gun at
Peace.
Seam and looks like he's about to try to shoot him. The other one has a sword out and his seems to be making a decision between. Yeah, he seems to be like frozen as he's making a decision between trying to take on Aldo and running away.
I'll take the shooter.
Okay.
Maybe that'll scare the other one.
Okay.
Oh, position is risky.
I think position. Yeah, do risky for you.
And the effect is
Limited because you have better armor than you have bullets. Unless you want to push yourself, and then you can make it.
I do have a fine long rifle.
You do. That gets you to tier 2. So pushing yourself would get you to tier 3.
I will do that. Which does what?
Take
That
two
allows you to do standard success.
Take 2
Oh,
stress
standard.
and
Yep. And no bonus dice.
Nope, not this time. All right. I think that's gonna hit him and take him out. And the downside is gonna be
Does that scare the other one enough to get him running?
I think it will not. I think
you realize there's a sniper there now.
yeah. So you know what?
And
Yeah,
the guy
so-
next to him just got blown away.
So here's what happens. You shoot him, but as usual, you just like shoot him in the stomach.
Uh-huh.
So he turns and fires a shot at you. So he's gonna do
At
it's
me?
risky. He's gonna do some harm to you. That makes more sense
Bob.
to me.
Did you say he's shooting at me?
Yes, he's gonna like fire randomly at you and just luckily hit you because you rolled a 5 instead of a 6, and that's gonna give you a level 2 harm, a like a shoulder wound.
Can I do armor?
You can.
Oh yeah, as desperate, we get the XP for each.
Right.
Yep.
If you're doing desperate actions, get the
Yep.
XP for it. And then I think it's Kasim's turn.
Since I'm kind of awful at combat, I'm gonna try to continue cutting the horse loose and see if I can spook the horse just straight at the last guard guy.
I think you can just do that. I don't know that we need to make a roll for that.
Um,
So I think, yeah, because you were most of the way through cutting that thing before. So yeah, you finish
Okay.
cutting it and slack that horse. The horse starts to run, and the other guy will also run the hell away because, like, within an instant, yeah, these 5 guys that he's been working with all this time have just died right in front of him. And I think that brings us to Vetra's turn.
Yes. So
It is wounded.
how's this sound? I would like to push myself again, cause why not?
Why not?
And this time I would like to perform a feat of athletics that verges on the superhuman.
Okay.
So it would be very, very superhuman. While I am in like ghost form, kind of mid way, I wish to tackle the guard through the door
Okay.
to get him on the outside.
Got it.
Yes, that's what I would like.
Yeah, I think that's probably not it. Probably no problem.
So I will use skirmish.
Okay. I don't know that requires you to push yourself to do that.
Oh, okay. Then I will just well, I wanted to get the extra die.
Okay. I mean, you can like do the of course push yourself to do the extra die.
Just I usually it says when you push yourself, I get to choose either the perform a feat of athletics or maneuver to confuse enemies
Yeah.
so that they
Okay. Yeah, this is
attack.
good. Yeah.
Okay. Oh, look. Oh, nice.
Yeah, you got him out there. You tumble right past Min, and she has a knife in, in the captain's side.
Mm-hmm.
Get this guard right next. Yeah, Chad. This blue coat attempts to stab you with a knife, but misses. Can't seem to get it on you. And Aldo, what are you doing?
Let's see who's left.
Not many.
Yeah.
There's only
Uh,
one. There's the one guard that ran away. He's like off down some alleys now.
it's not worth chasing him.
The captain is in. There's 2 drugged up coach drivers up on top of the second coach. And then the captain is in the second coach, and then on the ground, like underneath the Vetcher, is the remaining blue coat guard. think I had that right.
Okay, so there's the two drug guys on top of the thing, one guy running away, the captain on the inside, and the guy that Vector's got under control.
Right.
I'm going to head. Oh, I think I'll just go into the carriage and put my sword through the
All right. We'll
captain.
action because he's ready for you.
Okay. All right. So, all right. I guess this is just skirmish, and I'm pretty sure this is desperate because he knows what's going on. And effect limited because I can't really afford to push myself again.
Okay.
Oh. And no bonus dice since I can't really afford to push myself again. Ooh.
Ooh. I think. Yeah, I think you're gonna get hurt. Like you do this, you're gonna take a level 2 harm. So you're gonna jump in
And
there.
that is why I wear armor.
He's gonna stab you with a knife as well. With a fairly long blade. A really nicely decorated, long blade. He has nice stuff. And but it's gonna stick in your armor, and he's gonna take another wound. He's hurt pretty bad, but still alive.
Yeah.
Next would be either. Oh, I think it is Ben. I think Ben was the second one.
Excellent. All right, so I got my knife and this guy's,
Yeah.
back, whatever.
Yep.
And
And he now has a big sword stuck in him too.
how dead does he seem?
Not quite dead yet.
Can I just twist the knife?
Sure.
Okay.
Twist it.
Yeah, give me a finesse.
The knife. Yeah.
Yeah.
Desperate.
Well, I guess finesse, or Aldo would use wreck, but that's just him.
Let's see how big a mess we can make.
Yeah.
Can I have a flashback that I have a flashback?
Sure.
And you know what? Actually, can I push myself to
Okay, you may push yourself.
move the effect from limited to standard?
Okay.
And I'm
Yeah.
using lots of my strength and effort
Yeah.
to. Okay. And that takes 2 strokes.
Yes.
Thank you. All right, bonus dice. Flashback
Okay.
for a bonus die. I
Okay.
went to a flashback that I actually went to, like, went saw a friend, and I'll spend a coin if you want me to. I acquired a special knife that once it goes in, you can press a button on the hilt, and some like things come out the
Barbs
side.
stick out.
That are
Yeah.
Ooh,
spikes.
God,
that
you're
come
an awful
out the
person.
side, so it's in, and
You're
you
such
push
a
the button.
bad
And
person.
um,
I thought
It
Wendy
shoots
was-
poison.
Yeah, man, you're awful.
I like this image right now.
Okay, take a strain for back, and then because that's a fairly simple one, and then
That's stress. Yeah.
Yeah,
And I
stress.
took the coin off. So good. Because I bought this, I guess.
okay, a fancy knife.
Yeah, it's a fancy knife.
Mhm.
So that's one bonus die, right?
Okay.
All right. See what happens now that I bought all that. No 6s after I spend all that on it. Oh well. All right. Tell me what happens.
All right, I think you will finish him off. He will, however, like stab at you. I think
Mhm.
he's going to give you a level 2 harm.
I would like to resist the harm.
Yeah, it's going to be a like a scar, like a slash across your face, so like a bleeding face.
Can I
Yep.
and try to resist it,
You
right?
can. You just resist it, and
Okay.
then roll a d6, and it's a d. What d? It is 6 minus the number of. And we roll a d6.
1,
Stress. So 0 stress.
so 0. Okay.
Oh, whatever. Fine.
Woohoo. That's 6 needed.
So he narrowly misses your face with a knife in his dying
Flail.
flail
Flailing
bit. Yes.
death throes.
As you and Aldo murder him.
Yeah. We sure did.
And then make your way off into the streets.
Yep.
To get the hell out of here.
Mm-hmm. Sneak away.
Leaving corpses in your, well, no 6, because Vetra hasn't necessarily killed the person that he's with yet.
Not yet.
Well, do I have another shot here, Bob?
You do.
I'm going to shoot the guy that Vetcher's just pushed out of the carriage.
Okay.
So, position risky.
Uh-huh.
I'm going to push myself. So the effect,
It will be standard because +1 for your fancy rifle, +1 for your pushing, and that gets you to 3. Assuming the pushing yourself was for effect.
no bonus dice.
Nope.
Well, yeah, probably didn't hit that chair.
Um, man, that's just mean. Am I that mean? To hurt Vetcher and I mean he did it. So no, yeah, I think because it's not a great success, I think you'll kill the guy, but deal a level 2 harm to Vetcher. Unless he wants to resist that.
Since we went normal load,
Mhm.
could I have armor?
Okay.
Low would that drop it?
That'll eliminate it.
Okay. Sometime Aldo is not incorrect. Armor help.
Yeah, this is the first time Vetcher's ever worn armor, so I mean, what do you know? As far as I know. Maybe you wore it when you just went to war.
No, this is first time.
Okay.
No.
Okay. So the guys run off, leaving 7 bodies, like just lying in pieces or just bleeding out in the streets of Coleridge.
Yep.
We probably also have to eliminate the 2 high guys, right? Because their narrative isn't going to fit very well with.
Oh, 5. Sorry, 5. There were 5 corpses. No.
Um,
4 from second carriage.
4 from second carriage and 5 from the first one. 9. Yeah, that's a lot.
yeah.
Yeah. Now it's up to you guys. You guys killed the dudes, the dudes that were high.
Hmm?
The drivers of the second carriage.
I mean, can we just leave them alone?
I don't think that fits well with our narrative. I think at this point that would just raise our heat because they can identify.
Yep.
One guy ran off.
If you guys
Well, one guy ran off, so
I'm going to
He
shoot
didn't
the
get a
other
great
one.
look at faces though. The guys in the seat talk directly with men, so
I'm shooting him.
yeah.
I am moving over there.
Or like, do we kill? And then blam. Dash.
Yep. I don't care. He's dead.
okay. So you guys cut out and head back to base. All right, let's do end of job stuff then.
Okay.
not the one I want. I always get this wrong. Downtime payoff. I think you get 4 rep for this job because
Four
it's against a tier 3 dude.
Yeah.
I put it there.
Okay. It's already in there. You guys are probably getting pretty close to tier 2 now, aren't you? Yeah?
Two more.
Yeah, so the next job ought to do it, unless you really bungle it.
Yep.
No coin from this job.
That's fine.
So we go down 2 coins.
Right. And when you go up another tier, your tithe is going to go up as well because you can afford to pay more.
Or not pay anything at all.
Indeed.
That's up to you guys to figure out. And then heat, I think it is. I don't think it's 2. I'm thinking 4. What do you think of 4 heat?
Or heat.
I think it's a well-connected target, so maybe it's 5.
5.
Yeah, because he's a pretty high exposure. He's a pretty high-profile dude. I wouldn't say it's crazy. And then you know what? Let's subtract 1 because of the pre-work you guys did to keep the bad stuff off. And then we'll start with entanglements next time. So let's do XP real quick. Oh wait, sorry. First the crew. Crew XP. You did a successful murder.
Mm-hmm.
Contend with challenges above your station. Alters the crew's reputation or developing. You know what? I would argue you did get it. You are developing a reputation with another group.
Okay.
So I'd say we got 3 so far. Did you express the goals, drives, or inner conflict or essential nature of the crew?
Yes,
We worked for coin.
We getting back to assassin, but we had conflict because these were blue coats and we had a decent reputation.
You know what? There's that. Yeah, go for it. So I think you got 4.
Oh, we get new.
You get a new thingy.
Okay.
So that'll be a decision you guys need to make sure pretty soon. And that goes into the special ability. Right?
Well, it can also go into upgrades.
Is it 1 special ability or 2 upgrades? Is that how it goes?
I believe so.
I think so too. Yeah. Let's get to that. You guys should start thinking about that while we do character XP. So Aldo, you got your
Yeah.
desperate action stuff. Did your
Yep.
Yes, you did address a challenge. with
Violence or coercion.
coercion.
Yep.
Do you express your beliefs, drives, heritage, or background, or struggle with issues or from your vice or traumas?
Didn't have any issues with vice and trauma. The more Christos goes to more of the expressing beliefs, drives, heritage, background.
Yes. You know what? I
Yeah.
would go for that. So I think Christoph should get an XP. I mean, or you can assign him to whichever one you want. I think.
But yeah. The 1 XP that Aldo's getting is going to go into prowess and fill up that track.
Nice.
Mm. Yeah, and then Christoph's ghost, I will give him one in resolve.
There you go.
Actually, no. Instead of giving him one in resolve, I will put one into his playbook since he really needs to get more ghost abilities.
Okay.
Did we get experience for the last session we did?
I don't remember.
It was
I
still
think
part of
so.
this score. It was the first
Yeah.
part.
Okay.
Hmm.
The Dashel tracking or violence? I would say yeah.
Both.
Express your beliefs, drives, or heritages.
I think I did that last time.
You probably did last time. Struggle with issues from your
This is choice.
vices or traumas.
I'm not sure if I did that last time or not.
So that may be 3, 2. I move 3.
3.
Yeah, let's do 3. I like it. Min,
So
you got your
I was thinking,
tactical
did-
skill mayhem.
so I was in a desperate situation for prowess at least twice, maybe 3
Yeah,
times.
yeah. So you added.
I added
Put
2
those in.
marks, but it was desperate and it was finesse when I blew the powder in the guy's eyes, right?
Mhm.
And then it was desperate and was it prowl when I stabbed him.
Yep.
And then another desperate action when I twisted the blade. So
I guess so. Yeah.
I'm putting a third in
Okay.
prowess there.
Did you use technical skill or mayhem?
I definitely, well, yeah, I mean, I feel like I used mayhem to,
Okay.
I had technical skill. I mean, like I practiced.
Yeah. Beliefs, drives, heritages, or background,
No, I don't think so.
and struggle with vice or traumas.
No.
Okay.
So one
Yes, you
more
got
for
pretty
the
good.
technical.
Yeah.
That should go there.
Nice. And then Bitcher.
So once I fill these up, I can put one more in.
What are your special abilities?
These up, so
Yeah, there you go. Yeah. Cool. And then so Vetcher, you got your split actions. Address the challenge with stealth or evasion. Yes, you did.
Yes, I stealth to get in, and I was going for evasion to get the one guy out so that I wouldn't be with
Yeah.
two of them.
You know, I think that counts for 2. You did a lot there. Beliefs, drives, and heritages. I think you always get a point for talking in character or using a character voice.
So I will actually finally have a point in resolve. I finally filled it up, so it will. I will. Since I am experimenting with my ghostly nature, I will put a point to.
I like it. That's a cool one. You didn't do stuff with your traumas and vice.
Yeah, I don't have trauma.
No. Betcher is very well adjusted.
He does not have trauma. He gives trauma.
Yep. Yep.
he doesn't have it anymore. He got rid of it all by giving it away.
Yeah. I think it's because Vetcher is a sociopath and like all that touchy feely stuff like just doesn't have. Yeah, it's not him. Okay. Or he will never acknowledge that he's got trauma. So Kasim addressing a challenge with calculation and conspiracy, definitely. Drives and heritages. I would think a
I think last
couple.
session.
Yeah,
don't
yeah.
know.
So definitely the last session. I'm feeling 3 points here. So probably 2 challenges with calculation and one for the background for drives. What do you think?
Okay. Yeah, I accept that. And then no issues with vice or traumas this session.
That's
So,
not that I
or
recall.
last session. Yeah.
Cool. For the next session, we'll work on aftermath.
Very
Very good. Well, good game, guys.
Thank you very much, Bob.
Thanks.
Yeah.